Welcome to Known News Weekly with your host, Lisa Gallington. Today is Saturday, February 21st, 2026. Do you remember hearing for decades that the New World Order was a conspiracy theory? Perhaps you've seen this message on YouTube. Yep, that warning is still there today. If the New World Order is a conspiracy theory, then why have global leaders been mentioning it for years?
Out of these troubled times, our fifth objective, a new world order, can emerge.
A new world order, a new set of challenges is confronting us, both domestically and abroad.
The historic role in trying to make sure that there is, after all, a new world order.
Now, much has been said by the Secretary of State and others about a new world order.
There's a need for a new world order.
The necessity for a new world order.
And this is the best chance to begin to establish the new world order.
And then work on a better world order.
Really need to bring China into the creation of a new world order.
There's an incredible window of opportunity to lead in shaping a new world order for the 21st century.
Never before has a new world order had to be assembled from so many different perceptions.
We've got to give them a stake in creating the kind of world order that I think all of us would like.
Did they even know what they were talking about? If the New World Order is a conspiracy theory, then why do we have so many world leaders using the phrase in this week's headlines? Today, we will seek to determine if the New World Order is something we should expect to see form as we approach the last days. The key verse of Known News Weekly is Isaiah 46:10. Is the New World Order one of those truths that God revealed from the beginning, thousands of years ago? Let's start by taking a look at the Bible. Did you know that the Bible tells of multiple future governments that are part of the end times? In Daniel 8, Daniel records a dream that he had about a ram and a goat. Then in Daniel 8:15-23, the angel Gabriel interprets the vision for Daniel. He explains that the ram represents a future Persian government, that is modern-day Iran. During the time of that Iranian government, another government from the west, out of the former Greek Empire, will attack Iran. The passage makes the timing clear. Daniel 8:19 states that these two governments will rise and fall during the time of wrath. Neither of these two governments appear to be global, as the Bible calls out the specific regions for each party. So we haven't found a new world order yet. But the angel goes on to explain what will happen at the latter part of their reign, in a time when rebels have become completely wicked. Sounds like today, doesn't it? At that time, a fierce-looking leader will rise up. A master of intrigue will become very strong. He will bring great devastation and will destroy the holy people. He will cause deceit to prosper and will think highly of himself. I bet you know who this is describing. But did you know that before the Antichrist reign, there will already be world order in place? We find this in Revelation 17. This chapter tells us of a Babylon the Great, the mother of prostitutes and the abominations of the earth. She is depicted as a woman riding a beast, but she is actually a great city that rules over the kings of the earth. It is a city of multitudes of people from all over the world. The Babylon the Great is a future global ruling power, a world order, There are lots of theories on who Babylon the Great is, but we'll save that for another day. The Antichrist or beast system will initially be under the authority of this world order. The woman rides the beast. Revelation 17 tells us that this third government has 10 horns, or kings, or leaders, but not leaders of nations. Their sole purpose is to give power to the beast, or Antichrist. Rather than political power, these leaders will possess financial influence, pharmaceutical deception, and technological skills, and they will be known for their sexual immorality. Where did I get that from, Scripture? It's all in the book of Revelation. Revelation 18, verses 11 to 15, give us an indication of the financial power. These merchants will grieve when their wealth goes down the drain with Babylon the Great. Revelation 18, verse 23 at the end talks about how these merchants will have deceived the nations or the peoples of the earth with their sorcery or their magic spells. The Greek word for that is pharmakia, from which we get our word pharmaceuticals. And it may be indicating that one of the signs of the leaders of this global government will be that they are involved in the pharmaceutical industry. They also have a powerful technology. We can see this in Revelation chapter 13, verses 12 to 17, where we learn about, first of all, the Antichrist who died and then came back to life, or appears to come back to life, and that could be because of transhumanism. But then a beast, an image of that beast is constructed, and life is given to that image so that it can speak. This could be done through holograms or some other technology. Then in Revelation 13, 16, and 17, we learn about the mark of the beast that will be coming, and no one can buy or sell without that mark on their hands or on their foreheads. That mark of the beast will require great technology to track all of those transactions and people having those marks and all of the different places that they could buy or sell. And then the sexual immorality that will characterize the leaders of this global New World Order. Revelation 17, 1-2, we learn that the woman that rides the beast causes the kings of the earth to commit adultery with her. In Revelation 18, verse 3, and in Revelation 18, verse 9, we see this explained again. I think those four characteristics describe the world leaders of today quite well, don't you? The beast government is clearly a new world order. Possibly this global government will come in the not too distant future, as it seems that all the necessary things for the system to work have already been developed technologically. Revelation 17, verses 16 to 17, state that the beast government will grow to hate the mysterious Babylon the Great world order that rules over that group of kings. The beast government will eventually overthrow the world order depicted as the harlot and named Babylon. Then that beast world order will be defeated by Jesus when he returns to establish his earthly kingdom. Today, we'll be focusing on the two world orders before Christ sets up his kingdom. Are the numerous headlines this week about a new world order related to end times prophecy? In the headlines, we're first going to answer the question, is there a new world order? This first headline, the new world order, not a conspiracy anymore in 2026. The article defines the New World Order conspiracy theory as claims that a secret, all-powerful elite is conspiring to establish a totalitarian one-world government, often featuring dystopian elements such as mass surveillance, population control, and the elimination of national sovereignty. Does that sound like a conspiracy or a reality to you? This article also defines what the geopolitical leaders mean when they say New World Order. The article says it refers to a fundamental reconfiguration of international relations, institutions, and power balances. The term was popularized in its modern form by President George H.W. Bush in 1990 to describe a post-Cold War era of U.S.-led multilateralism, liberal democracy, and rules-based global governance. In 2026, however, it increasingly signifies the dissolution of that very system. The article goes on to say today's New World Order describes a fragmented, multipolar landscape in which U.S. unilateralism under Trump has weakened or even dismantled key pillars of the post-World War II framework. The article states that many analysts now refer to this phase as a New World Disorder, or even Trump's New World Order. Why is there a New World Order forming? This Politico article states that global order no longer exists. Europe can no longer depend fully on U.S. leadership and must rely more fully on itself. Merz said the international order based on rights and rules no longer exists in the way it once did. The headlines also claim that the United States is leading the way into this new world order. This MSN article explains how President Trump is leading the way to a new world order. It states that U.S. action in Venezuela, U.S. threats to Greenland, Europe, and Iran, and Trump's Board of Peace are examples of how Trump is leading into a new world order. Regarding Trump's Board of Peace, it points out that this is a bid by Trump to replace the United Nations, and it's Trump's latest attempt to exert a new kind of international power. Vice President J.D. Vance, in an interview with Megyn Kelly this week, also indicated that President Trump is leading the New World Order. Let's listen to that short video.
Are we at the beginning of a new world order where we move away from Europe and toward anything else? And there's a real question about whether there's a massive shift happening now in terms of world alliances long term.
Well, it's definitely, I think, a new world order. I think the president has sought to it. There's a new world order in trade. There's a new world order in globalization and the way that we invest in our economy versus, foreign supply chains. There's a new world order, and the president is willing to shake up some old alliance structure.
Did you catch how many times J.D. Vance used the phrase New World Order? Kind of creepy. Doesn't sound like a conspiracy to me. This next Politico article highlights Rubio's inspiring and historical speech at the Munich Security Conference last week. Some of the things that Rubio said, he said, the U.S. wants to cooperate with Europe to revitalize an old friendship. We in America have no interest in being polite and orderly caretakers of the West's managed decline. We made these mistakes together, and now together we owe it to our people to face those facts and to move forward. Rubio emphasized the United States and Europe's economic, military, cultural, and spiritual connections. He said, we want Europe to be strong. We believe that Europe must survive. The fate of Europe will never be irrelevant to our own national security. This NBC News article highlights the first Board of Peace meeting on February 19th. Focus was the fragile ceasefire in Gaza. Trump announced the U.S. will contribute $10 billion to the Board of Peace. Iran has 10 days or so to agree on peace terms. Looking at the headlines, we can see that it's clear that President Trump seems to be leading a new world order. But is this new world order either of the ones that Scripture foretells? Let's go back and look at the characteristics that describe the beast world order. They will be financially powerful. Have you considered that Trump has surrounded himself with the wealthy? Elon Musk, Bill Gates, Steven Feinberg, the privacy equity CEO, Tillman Fertitta, the Houston Rockets owner, Warren Stevens, an investment banker, Jared Isaacman, who's now with NASA, Howard Lutnick, a CEO of Cantor Fitzgerald, Vivek Ramaswamy, Linda McMahon, who's married to WWE billionaire, and even Mohammed bin Salman. Trump certainly has gathered around himself the financially powerful. The second characteristic of those leaders is that they will deceive people through pharmakeia. Donald Trump met with Bill Gates to discuss the importance of U.S. global health programs and medical research, focusing on initiatives that save lives and maintain America's leadership in health innovation. The next quality of these leaders is that they will be technologically powerful. The Trump administration has been pushing for technology advancements so that we will get ahead of China. Artificial intelligence is on the rise right before our very eyes. In addition to that, surveillance is becoming more and more common, and Trump has even stated that what China is doing in that realm is a good thing. And then the final characteristic of the leaders of the biblically spoken of New World Order is that those leaders will be sexually immoral. Hundreds of world leaders, and even Trump, and several of the leaders mentioned above, have been named in the Epstein files. When we consider that God revealed to us in his word about the governments of the end times, and we look at the news, we see that once again, the Bible is proven to be correct. So what commands did God give to protect his people from the New World Order? He called us to come out of her, to come out of Babylon. He calls us to be wise and to calculate the number of the beast. He calls us to endure to the end. My prayer this week is that all of you will be able to grow in wisdom, understand the Bible, that you will be able to make discerning choices, that you will not be materialistic and committed to this world, but that you'll be ready to come out of the world focused on spiritual, heavenly things, and that with that hope in front of you, you will endure to the end.